again. I think this is vlog number 8. I'm going to go up to 10 and then stop counting, I think. We'll just call it the vlog. I'm quite enjoying doing it. I hope it's of interest. Another lovely sunny day. I'm choosing the sunny days to film, of course, because we're now in January. Hurrah, no more Christmas decks. We had a lovely festive season, lots of lovely guests, busier in 2025 than we were in 2024. So I'm taking that as a good omen for 2026. So today I'm going to show you around tiny home Kindred. It's the second one of our A-frames, and we made this one slightly bigger than silver. We basically took our original plans and Keith stretched everything. I believe it was by a metre overall, and it made a massive difference. They're still very much tiny homes, but it just it makes it a bit easier, to be fair. We learnt that. We did the first two, Ailey and Hooga, and then we did silver, third. And then we had a bit of a gap because we've always paid as we've gone. So we had a bit of a gap and where we built the others. And then we built Keith, which is next door to Kindred. Amazing! Got to admit. And then we built, at the same time we built Keith, we built Sayulsa, which is shown around on a previous episode, which was the big sister of Ailey. Again, we learnt and we made them slightly bigger. Like I say, still very much tiny homes, but a little bit more user-friendly. So here we go into Kindred. Again, I'm doing my best with the camera angles. Hello! What could I do, honestly? I will do these again in the summer when we have, you know, a bit of more of prettiness in the meadow. Love these vintage curtains. We have great boot sales here on the Isle of Wight. Boot fairs, I don't know what you call them in other countries. Maybe the same thing. So I'm always finding lovely things. Now it's a little bit on the dark side today in here compared to the outside. No more Christmas decorations, huzzah, much as we all had fun. A few little bits and bobs. So here we go. We've got the fire lit in Kindred today because we have a guest checking in, and when we can we like to take the chill off the air because in winter months it is a bit nippy. And the cabins are really well insulated. I've bored everybody before by how proud we are by having all of our cabins signed off by building control. And what that means is they are very well insulated. And we've noticed, of course, that if they do get really cold, if we haven't had guests for like 2 weeks in the winter or something like that, when we come to use, it's like, and it's warm outside, it can sometimes be colder inside. So we're really mindful of that. It's very toasty and lovely in here today. It's another one of our amazing charnwood stoves. I'll put a link below. I can't recommend highly enough. They are fantastic. And we do use one of the little fans on top. If we were just on the one level, we wouldn't need that at all. But because the other end of this room is the way up to the sleeping area, we find using these little self-powered fans works brilliantly for distributing the heat. So another Vlaze heat shield. If you're not sure what they are, they're enamel shields that you can put behind your fire, and that means you can keep the fire nearer to the wall. And I'll put a link to Vlaze as well. Plenty of vlogs there for our guests. There we go. So what can I say about Kindred? Got a bit of a 50s vibe going on. These big squishy marshmallowy chairs are actually single chair beds, so they fold out and make nice beds. They're big enough for adults, so they are fine. You don't get the short straw if you have to sleep on one of them, I promise. The bedding is there under the shelves. We always put lamps in for people if they want to walk around the site, or just in case of any loss of power. Doesn't happen very often because now in the winter months we actually link up to mains power so we don't run out. The lights are always solar power, but other things. We've learnt that the hard way. Nice local map of the Isle of Wight there. And some flying ducks. I spent many years as a photographic stylist, so there are a few mad touches here and there. So let's go through to the kitchen. There's a hanging rack there. Oh, and of course the obligatory hookages over there. There we go. So the kitchen, I've put the light on because, like I say, the sun isn't shining on us at the moment. So when it does, this feels a lot brighter inside. But at the moment, it's a bit dark, and it is January the 2nd to be precise. This is the kitchen. I love those pressed, they're ceiling tiles, but we use them as a splashback there. Plenty of kit. I love these pictures we've got here, look. Another boot fair find. Gorgeous pencil drawings. I wonder who did them. And we've got a vintage kitchen dresser here with all your crockery and stuff like that. There's a sink and all these lovely vintage plates. So you can see I made the most of my vintage hoard by putting lots of different elements in here. That's me clonking the bathroom door open. I'm always struggling, aren't I, trying to do these. So here we go in the bathroom. Excuse the extractor fan. Compost toilet. Another gorgeous metal rack. They were all from a local company called Bayliss and Booth. I don't know if they still stock them, but they are lovely. And I bought all these shell curtains. Got them in the bathroom and the kitchen. I bought them on a photographic trip I went on many years ago to Cape Town. So they've travelled the world, those. Anyway, up. So kitchen sink, shower, lovely carved hooks. These are made by Jim's Woodcraft, and I'll give you a link to Jim as well, because he makes amazing things, and he's a really nice person to follow on social media. He makes some really glorious tables and things. In fact, here is one of them, all local wood. He's not very far from here, so this is not travelled very many miles. It's beautiful, isn't it? And we've had those for ages, and look how gorgeous it still looks. Amazing. Love those. Little fold out table there. Okay, let's go upstairs. Another one of our gorgeous huge beds in the apex here, and I hope you can see the view outside is trees. And a recent review, I'm going to pop that in because it came in today. The last time, well, they weren't the last guests, but some recent guests in Kindred who said how lovely it was to lie in bed and look up at the stars. So in the winter months, you haven't got foliage on the trees, but you can see the stars. This is a kind of crazy light fitting I made, sort of hanging strands of leather. I don't know what possessed me, but I still like it. And again, it's gorgeous, isn't it? The shutters are bespoke made, and they're all lined with vintage wallpaper. And we made a few different bedspreads from my vintage fabric stash. Michelle made those. She did a great job, I think. Might make some more, maybe in January and February when we're not quite so busy. Also, another feature in this cabin is all this lovely, I don't know what wood it is. I think it came from Chesil Woodyard here, so I'm not actually sure of the wood, so I'm not going to make it up. But aren't they gorgeous, all these lovely natural railings? And that bit of wood there is what you can slot. If you're concerned, you can put that slot that piece of wood across like a door. It's very firm and sturdy when it's in there. And then looking down, a few blankets this time of year. I absolutely love all this wicker stuff, don't you? A little bit of macrame, a bit of wicker. And another one of Jim's gorgeous little tables. Little cutie one there. And then you've got a nice view over the site from here. Maybe I'll try and zoom in a bit. Oh, it's hopeless, isn't it? Can't really do these. Warm out again, I think. Yeah, so there's hanging space for more clothes here if you want. It's nice and roomy, this cabin. Something lovely. There is the magic thing of A-frames. So, I hope you enjoyed looking around Kindred. There is something very special about A-frames. I think you can agree with me on that. Oh, and a question that I'm often asked is about ceiling height, because sometimes people think the tiny homes will have really low ceilings. A couple of them do have low ceilings in the sleeping areas, but most of them don't. And Kindred's, the apex of the ceiling, I'm guessing is probably at least 10 foot to the apex. And so you can work it out from there. There's plenty of headroom. No one's going to bang their heads here. I hope you enjoyed looking around Kindred. Hope to see you here soon. Let's see if we can get a little view down the stairs to end with.